Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we're just going to revisit the council tax freeze that Humza Yousaf announced in his speech. All the councils are against it. They all say they do need an increase in funds, and some are already looking at laying people off and closing facilities. And who will see the benefit of this? Well, virtually nobody at all, because the people at the bottom end of the social structure don't pay council tax. It's all part of benefits and things. So it won't make any difference to them whatsoever in terms of money, but they will see facilities being closed. Things that they were using will go. It will impact them. People at the top end don't really care about £20 a month, but they do care about losing certain services and things and facilities that the council provide. Everybody loses, nobody wins, nobody, of course, has done a cost-benefit analysis. Humza Yousaf doesn't even know what one of them is. He just thought it was a good little soundbite to announce at conference, and it's now coming back to bite him on the arse. We'll take a look at this to see why nobody, but nobody, will benefit. Here goes. So, Humza Yousaf's council tax freeze boast left shattered. As analysis reveals, most struggling Scots will see no benefit whatsoever. The First Minister announced the new policy out of the blue at the SNP conference in Aberdeen, but was almost immediately criticised by councils for it. It was literally out of the blue. He didn't even probably know he was going to say it until it popped into his tiny little mind. And look at him sitting there, walking off the stage after that and thinking, oh dear, what have I done? What have I done? Have I screwed up royally? Again? Probably. Anyway, Humza Yousaf's council tax freeze boast has been shattered by new analysis, which revealed that most struggling Scots will see no benefit at all. And the First Minister announced this to great fanfare at the SNP conference last week, but was almost immediately called into question. Yeah, he literally had nothing to say. He had his speech, and he's like, this is a boring speech. There's nothing in it. What am I going to do? I've got to stand there in front of all these people and go, hey, boom, and I've got nothing to fill that gap. And so 20 minutes before the speech, he got up, he went, I know, I got a brilliant idea, because I'm a genius. And he said this, and of course everyone's like, okay, yeah, we weren't expecting that. His own government didn't know it, his colleagues didn't know it, the civil service didn't know about it, the councils didn't know about it, his wife didn't know about it, and she's been calling for a massive increase in her council, where she's a councillor. But he was sleeping on the sofa for a few nights. Man's a moron, isn't he? Anyway, raging local authorities attacked the SNP leader for failing to consult with them on the proposals amid a funding crisis. And even his cabinet were left in the dark about the plans, with Shona Robertson admitting they had not been signed off by them. Shona Robertson lied. She said, oh no, later she said, oh no, we discussed this in cabinet. But the civil service didn't know about it because they hadn't discussed it in cabinet. Because when you have a cabinet meeting, there's a civil service person there, and they're minuting the meeting. They're going, oh, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that, and so on. Full records and things. And these are the minutes. And they didn't know because they didn't discuss it in cabinet. Shona Robertson's sitting there going, yes, we did. We did. And the civil service going, no, you didn't. No, we didn't know anything about it. You didn't discuss it in cabinet. If you had, we'd have heard about it, and we didn't. So it goes to show, yet again, lies, absolute lies. Lying this time to preserve, I'm going to use the word, dignity of the First Minister. Doesn't want to be shown up as a liar. It's moron, isn't it? They lie to cover up their lies, and then they're caught out on those lies. It's ridiculous. Anyway, new analysis from the Institute of Public Policy Research, the IPPR, has revealed that the impact of the freeze on household budgets will be negligible, with the majority of struggling households seeing no benefit at all. Instead, it will actually reduce the financial burden on wealthy households that have more resources to cope with higher prices. The rich get more help. It's like, oh, this will benefit the rich. Freezing council tax will benefit the rich. And he calls for progressive taxation. This is not progressive taxation. This is lunacy. Anyway, as part of Mr Yousaf's initial pledge, when he took over as First Minister, he promised that fighting child poverty would be one of his main aims. Fighting for it? Perhaps, I don't know. Anyway, IPPR research shows that the council tax freeze will not have much impact on them. They wrote, over 400,000 households are already afforded some relief by the council tax reduction scheme, and this reduces council tax liabilities based on a household's income and their circumstances, such as disability and the number of children. He said households receiving TTR either pay no council tax or pay an amount less than the full rate. They pay like a percentage of it, based on whatever particular... You work it out by points, number of children, if you've got disabled, if there's other issues, things like that. If you're a carer, I think you can get a reduction, things like that. So, most people don't actually pay the full rate of council tax, or at least, not most people, I would say a lot of people don't pay the full rate. So it won't make any difference to them at all. The wealthy will see, oh, look, we're saving £20, £30 a month, whatever it will be. But everyone else is like, yeah, no difference at all, whatever. Anyway, the think tank found that the freeze would reach about 65% of children in poverty, compared with 90% of children not in poverty. In addition, it will reach just 60% of working age adults in poverty, but 95% of those who are not. So, obviously, benefiting far more the wealthy, those who don't actually need this freeze. This is what happens. You vote a moron into power, and you give him power, and you give him authority, and he does stupid things, doesn't he? And he can't help himself, of course. It's like, giving an addict an endless supply of whatever it is that they're addicted to. Mountains of white Colombian, skiers keeping down it until, and so, what's the addict going to do? He's going to go, oh, great. It doesn't benefit him, though, does it? Anyway, they concluded, tackling poverty is one of the 3 defining missions of the Scottish Government. However, at a time when progress on that commitment risks stalling and rates of destitution are rising, a freeze on council tax is an ineffective diversion. So basically, what they want to try and do, and they said, oh, this will help, and it proves with all the experts are saying, no, it won't. It doesn't help at all. It doesn't help. Stop it. Don't do it. You're an idiot. Anyway, spending over 100 million, possibly as much as 400 million, on a policy that most households won't even notice is a deeply questionable choice. The Scottish Government should reconsider the freeze and use its budget far more wisely to support struggling households. Put the 400 million into health and social care. That would help them far more than a freeze on a council tax that most of them don't pay in the first place. When asked about this disparity, a spokesman for Mr Yousaf insisted that the measure would help all struggling Scots and it would be proved to be popular. Well, popular amongst the wealthy, because they're the ones that will benefit the most. He said, in terms of child poverty, the government has taken a number of significant steps, blah, 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 and he's talking a load of horseshit again. Anyway, the FM said in his conference speech at the weekend, it's obviously very important that we do everything we can for people on the lowest incomes. How about, providing them with jobs, security? How about making the roads safer? How about making the society safer? How about providing them with good health care? That's the sort of things these people need. Not a freeze on a council tax that they don't pay. What a moron. Anyway, I'm going to round off and come up. So you see, it isn't just me calling him a moron. The experts in the field are saying, no, this is a really stupid idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't do something so stupidly moronic as to waste £500 million on something that makes no difference whatsoever. You can't deal with people this stupid, can you? Just think, 400 million. 400 million pounds. How many doctors and nurses? How many, health visitors? How much social care would that buy? A stunning amount. And that's where people need it. Put 400 million, perhaps, into the education system. There's no end of things you can do with 400 million pounds. But not Humza Yousaf. No. Because he is a moron. I'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button. Do please hit the share button. And definitely hit the like button. And I will see you later.